Hi, it's time for Good Energy, and I'm Dr. Julie, and we are here on day 33, Kinesthetic and how cross crawl can calm. No props today. Today it is just your body. So let's go ahead and get into this. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath in and release. Breathe in from the bottom of those ribs. It's a good day to talk about bottom of the back ribs all the way up into the top. Take a breath in and release. And think about your gunk, any stress that you've got going on today. Take a deep breath in and release. I got something going on over here, so that is my stuff today. And today we're talking about cross crawl. Cross crawl can be as simple as, cross crawl is the idea that you use one appendage on one side in a different way than you use a different appendage on the other side. And it really is about crosstalk between the hemispheres of your brain. So the hemisphere that moves this side of the body is actually over here, and the hemisphere that moves this side of the body is actually over here. They cross in the spine, and then they need to uncross and untangle when you actually are doing things. And so cross crawl is the act of trying to confuse, eventually figure out those communication pathways in a way that strengthens the body and the brain and the nervous system in terms of communicating information back and forth. Cross crawl is actually a very simple exercise that you can do in any shape or form. I'm going to give you about 3 different options. But interestingly enough, it can be tied to language learning and reading. One of the hypotheses when I was doing my PhD in language acquisition was that the act of dyslexia, or the inability to read, was the fact that the center of the brain, the corpus callosum, wasn't developed as well as it should be. And developmentally, there was a correlation. I'm not sure how many people actually went out and looked at it, that kids that went from army crawling right up to standing rather than actually crawling had a tendency to have more dyslexia or inability, or took a longer time to read than those kids that actually did a lot of crawling, because crawling is a cross crawl action. Opposite side, opposite arm, opposite leg, doing a motion. Now, we can all march. Marching is not a problem, but it's when we start throwing things in that make life a little bit different. So if you start working in 2 different planes, so if your arms go forward but your legs go out, now you've got a different hand, leg, cross crawl action going on. So cross crawling is a great way to get the visual center of the brain to the language center of the brain, which is what reading is. But it's also a very good way to get communication between right and left halves in terms of balance, and also in terms of just processing information. So this one is the one I hate, but this one you can do with your fingers. Thumb and finger pointing to each other. This one just takes me forever to figure out. That's a cross crawl at a very small level, but you're switching activities on either side. And as I said, you can pick leg and arm exercises. Opposite arm to opposite knee is actually a cross crawl, but you're still in the same plane, which is why it's kind of better to do things, that's the same side, things that are in different planes, so you have to mix it up. Now, if you type in cross crawl into YouTube, you're going to find some really great videos of people doing things with the right side that's opposite from what they're doing with the left, and then switching. So this action is a really great way to just get out of your head and get into your body, but also work on balance, work on language processing, work on memory, all good stuff. All right, so let's return back to what we're going to do, or back to our breathing. Take a deep breath in and release. All right, well, I'm feeling better. I hope you are too. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.